What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counter Punch Boxing News, and I want to talk to you guys about possible opponents. Okay, these comments that Anthony Joshua made in his press conference, his post press conference after the Pavectin fight. And he said that he's all about fighting the toughest fights. Of course, he wants Wilder, but if the Wilder fight can't happen, or if it can't get made, okay, who would be the guys to fight? The only obvious things that I can think of is what he said. He said, well, hey, dig up King Kong Ortiz. I don't think you have to dig up King Kong Ortiz. Because King Kong, just knocked out I forget his name, but he's still very active, and then he's fought after the loss of his first loss of his career to Deontay Wilder in the 10th round. And I think that Ortiz would love a fight with AJ because remember, these guys have history. These guys supposed to fought before. These guys should fight. Regardless of the fact that Ortiz has lost. You know what I mean? Because not everyone has the Mayweather doctoring or syndrome where if you lose a fight, you're no longer credible because he put up one hell of a fight against Deontay Wilder. So I beg to differ. I think that would be a good fight if they can't get the Wilder fight. Ortiz deserves that shot more than anyone else. I don't think that White doesn't deserve this fight. I just think he's been there before. It's like deja vu. It's a moment of insanity because I think he beats Dillian White again. He beats Dillian White. So why would you even want to fight? Sure, again, it's a good UK fight, but hey, it's not about just the UK. It's about fighting the best or the most dangerous. And the one guy that AJ did not fight before is Luis Ortiz. Since he said Luis Ortiz, he mentioned him, dig him up. I think he would be a good fight. I don't think that, Big Baby Miller, sure. I think he should be in another eliminator before he's ready. I don't think he's ready yet. I think Anthony Joshua is a phenomenon, fighter simply because he's done a lot quickly and they want to keep him at a certain level. And it's a good strategy too, because if you look at a lot of fighters, you look at when Danny Garcia knocked out Khan, what did he do after he knocked out Khan? You know what I mean? He fought a lesser opposition after that. And then after that, it brought another guy that no one knew who the hell that was. You don't want to get stagnated in success, especially when you're on top or you're moving forward. You know what I mean? You don't want to move backwards. So the whole idea, the whole journey, and the whole desire for success with Anthony Joshua is to keep him moving forward. That's it. If you don't move forward, you're going to get stagnant. If they put him in there with someone with less opposition, it's going to be that much harder for him the next time when he actually does fight someone worth a damn. That's how it works. That's how fighters get knocked out. You know what I mean? They get put in there with a guy that doesn't even supposed to be all that. And then that person is all that and they get knocked out. So that's the whole thing about it. I mean, imagine an Ortiz Joshua fight. That would be big. You know what I mean? Yeah, you will have the criticizers. You will have the spectators that will say, well, you know what? Wilder already beat him. So what you trying to fight him for? You just trying to fight him now because, he's been softened up a bit. People could say that, but at the end of the day, you can't take away from Luis Ortiz that he is that guy that is one of the most avoided, that Dillian White didn't want no part of him, right? Okay, everyone wants more than they think they can bargain for. So since AJ did mention Luis Ortiz, that's the only reason I'm bringing it up now, because I did take time to listen to the full press conference. And I did hear him say that. So if Anthony Joshua does want that, I don't know if Eddie Hearn will make it. That would be great if he did. Because for me, Wilder and Joshua would be the best fight. That would be ideal. But I'm gonna use the words Terrence Crawford used. Sometimes you think the hardest fights are the easiest. And then sometimes you think the easiest fights are the hardest. You know what I mean? That's how cherry picks go bad. That's how planned or chosen opponents end up being the most difficult because you underestimate them. You know what I'm saying? So I think if he called out King Kong, King Kong would gladly take the fight, especially now because a fighter like King Kong, he deserves a shot. He deserved the shot before he fought Wilder. You know, to me, honestly, Wilder hit him with a lot of behind the head punches. Yes, he hurt him. But I think the most protected fighter, that fight was set up for Deontay Wilder to win. I think it was over officiated. I think the referee protected Wilder in some cases because that fight should have really been stopped. It could have been stopped. I've seen because the onslaught that a old 38-year-old Luis Ortiz was putting on Wilder, and I say old, mind you, this is 2018. Okay, now I think Golovkin is older because of the way Golovkin fought. So I don't want people to say, well, wait a minute, you think Golovkin's old because he's 36. But I will say this about Luis Ortiz. I do think Golovkin's getting older and he's losing a step or two. But with Luis Ortiz, I think it's a little different. It's different with heavyweights because one shot can change everything, for one. For two, you know, it's how you take care of your body. You know what I mean? And it's how you fight. You know, it's your style. Is your style type of style where you're getting hit a lot, or is your style is more finesse, you know, where you hit without getting hit? Ortiz is from the Cuban style, but he is an aggressive fighter. You know, Luis Ortiz, Rancis Bartolome, those kind of dudes, they engage fights. You know, your Dennis Yugas, those guys, you know, he's another guy. He's a counterpuncher, but, you know, he likes to stay in the trenches, to stay poised enough to get to the spot, to hit the hole. Okay. So those punches available, they are able to be there and be in that pocket to throw those punches. So yes, they have to be in the trenches, right? But Luis Ortiz is one of those guys, he don't get hit a lot because of his defense. He's a counterpuncher, he's a southpaw, he's aggressive. But at the end of the day, he hasn't taken a lot of punishment. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and again, with the technology and you know, and how far the med like the health and the way guys, you know, train and condition themselves. Look at Bernard Hopkins. Okay. Even look at Sugar Shane Mosley. He even rocked a young Sean Porter in sparring. You know what I mean? And he's all, what, 47, 48 maybe? He's up there. He's like born in 71. He's up there with Tupac. Okay? So, yeah, these guys are up there. You know, but they're still in good shape. Not saying they can fight on Sugar Shane, you know, because he's been in a lot of wars. But, you know, but again, you're looking at someone 38, 39 years old. Yes, he's getting old. He's getting older, but he's still in good shape. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you have to look at that just to break that down and give you guys a good idea of how this fight could still be a good fight between Joshua and Ortiz. I would love to see that fight. If the Wilder fight can't happen, which is ideal, okay, so be it. Bring Ortiz, or they say dig up Ortiz, right? And see what Ortiz can do. You know what I mean? So if that's what they want, if that's what Anthony Joshua wants, the toughest fights, the fights that makes you think, ooh, wait a minute, he gave Wilder that onslaught in round 7. What could he do to Anthony Joshua? Let's see it, right? Let's see the fight. That's all I'm saying. You know, and then Anthony Joshua, he did mention Ortiz, so that might be a possible opponent. But we got to wait and see, guys. So anyway, that's me wrapping it up. You tell me what you think about this particular video. You tell me what you think about Ortiz being a possible opponent for April 13th. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace.